other topics as assigned. Major League Baseball. You guys hear about the possibility of a June start, Zach? Did you see that?
No, I did not see that, actually.
So
tell me more.
I will tell you more, Zach. So what they're wanting to do is maybe start in mid to late June. What they want to do is try to get 100 to 110 games in. They want to, instead of having the American League, National League, they want to try to have 3 different divisions. There's 30 teams in Major League Baseball, so they want to have an East Division, a Central Division, and a West Division. 10 teams in each division, and they're kind of, for the most part, everything is all the teams are put together geographically, except for the Rangers and the Astros. For some reason, I guess it's just where the teams are. I mean, a lot of the teams are in the middle of the country, obviously, but the Rangers and the Astros, they are put in what's called the West Division. So that's with like San Diego, Oakland, both the LA teams, Seattle, Colorado, like all the teams out west, Arizona, all the teams out west, all those teams in the West Coast, and then the Rangers and the Astros. Like like the Yankees and the Mets and the Red Sox and there's a Florida team. Like all the East Coast teams are together, all the Central Midwest teams are together, and then all the West teams, including the Rangers and the Astros. I'm kind of like, almost like the Rangers and the Astros just got thrown out in the West just because, even though Texas isn't, I mean, I guess people think of Texas as like the Southwest. But so what they're trying to do is have this 110 game season, have it start June to late June, and do those 3 different divisions. What I haven't seen yet is whether or not they're going to have, designated hitters. I mean, obviously American League, you have designated hitters. National League, you don't. I haven't seen what they're going to do with that. Maybe they get rid of the designated hitter altogether for this season. The playoffs are going to be different, obviously, but the goal right now for Major League Baseball is to have a 100 to 110 game season, have 3 10-team divisions, no fans. I think the big barriers to this right now that I've seen, owners are wanting the players to take pay cuts. Now, I want to get y'all's opinion on this. Because of the lack of fans, so lack of ticket sales, parking, concessions, all that other stuff, the billionaires want to cut the salaries of the millionaires. And I think all us thousandaires and hundredaires out here could care less. Thoughts about this? Because that seems to be a barrier to starting these games late and starting them without fans. Is the billionaires want to cut the salary of the millionaires? Do you think that's fair, Zach Luceto?
No, I think I think if you're accepting the fact that your sport comes before, if you're willing to play your sport with no fans, you're putting the sport first, I think.
Okay.
So I think that is agreeing to do that is a compromise, and you have to make all of the little compromises with it. That means the billionaires aren't going to make as much money as they would in the regular season. By bottom line. So I don't think you should start nickel and diming all these other people just to get you some money back. Like I saw something about college football that said that a lot of regents and stuff like that and people with the conferences are saying that if they have to play with no fans, they won't play at all because of how much money that they're losing. So I feel like, which is the complete opposite of what baseball is trying to do, where you're not putting the sport before the money. So I feel like it's an either or kind of thing.
Yeah. So I mean, the billionaires are basically saying we're not going to make as much money, so we want to cut the millionaires, cut their salary. But they're not really saying anything about all the people that aren't working at all. The people that do the concessions, people that do security, everything else that makes it run. They're not really saying anything about that. And that kind of bothers me, especially where we're at right now, where there's, 23 million people unemployed. Billionaires are complaining that they're not going to make enough money, so they're not going to be able to pay their millionaires as much. Doesn't sit right with me. Doesn't do a whole lot for Major League Baseball, in my opinion. Paul Rodriguez, what do you think about that?
Man, I don't give a good goddamn. I think these owners need to look through this in a financial situation and say, look, pay your people, take the L, expense it on your taxes, do what's right, and you won't have these issues. If you really want to take things up a notch, renegotiate your money deals with your TV people.
Yeah.
But nobody wants to do that. I promise you, advertisers have tons and tons of millions of dollars ready to spend on any sports because we've been in a drought for 3 months or 2 months. All the money that people lost with the NBA, I'm sure those advertisers would love to spend it on baseball. They would love to spend it on anything. But I'm not going to be worrying about a billionaire saying, "Oh, well, we're not going to make as much money." Okay, great. This is 1 year. Take the L, expense it on your taxes, keep it moving, and that's great because if that's the sense they want, go ahead and keep alienating your fans. Keep alienating the younger fan because your sport is not growing right now. So, long story short, NASCAR, I bet you they're going to be able to pay people. I bet you they're not having an issue with their drivers.
Yeah.
Long story short, the advertisers are going to want to go where the fans are going to watch. And if you're going to alienate your fans, advertisers probably aren't going to want to spend the money there.
Yeah, very true. So I have no empathy or sympathy for billionaires. Kind of feel sorry for the millionaires, the players, because the players just want to play. But, all of my concern is for all the people that, aren't working right now. I mean,
yep.
They, billionaires are worrying about their dollars. It's like, dude, you're gonna be fine. Yeah, you don't have to work ever. I mean, you make millions of dollars a day just on interest. Like, what's your, I mean, I understand it. As a finance person, work in a finance department, I understand that. But this is at these times right now. I mean, that's got to kind of take a back seat. So we'll see about the Major League Baseball. We'll see if that's going to happen. And if they can come to agreement to allow this June start to happen for Major League Baseball. I hope so because I did my fantasy draft last Friday. I think I talked about that on Saturday. All right, Recon Athlete, episode 73.